My empties bin is overflowing, which means it's time for me to share with you mini reviews on all of the products that I've used up in the last 3 months. I was actually planning on waiting until the end of the year to film my next empties video, but honestly, I am just getting tired of having this huge pile of trash in my closet, so I want to clear it out now, and then I'm thinking by the end of the year, maybe end of January, I'll have another big empties. So we have used up 24 products in the last 3 months since we've moved into this apartment, and I do want to say for most of these products for the body care and skincare, my boyfriend was also using them, so the two of us combined go through more product than if it were like just me, so I don't want you to think that it's just one person blasting through all this product in 3 months. But let's start off with a favorite. This is already a repurchase. It's the Vanity Cream Shampoo for Sensitive Skin. I discovered this earlier this year and we've now gone through many bottles of it. We both use this daily to wash our hair and it's just amazing. I thought for the longest time that I had dandruff, and I don't know, maybe I do, but I had been using medicated dandruff shampoos like the Nizoral and a few other different brands. I tried a few different active ingredients for dandruff. I just felt like the flakes were not getting any better. My scalp was very itchy, inflamed, and so I decided to try this shampoo. It's not a medicated shampoo. It's not specifically meant for dandruff. It's just meant for sensitive skin. And it's free of a lot of allergens, fragrances, dyes, and other things that could cause reactions. And ever since I started using this shampoo, I have not had any flakes in my scalp. My scalp has been clear, it's been much happier. So this is what I've stuck to. Nathan likes it as well. I like that it is gently clarifying as well. I do feel like I need a good clarifying shampoo because I do have a very oily scalp and it helps remove buildup, oil, things like that. This is just perfect for every day. I definitely miss a good scented shampoo. I miss that experience, but I think my scalp and my hair are a lot happier using this, so this is what I'm going to stick to. We already have repurchased. I have been buying them in like 3-packs because we do go through them pretty fast. It's only 12 ounces in these bottles, and with us both using it every day, we go through it pretty quickly. I wish they would come out with like a jumbo size. But yeah, this is fantastic if you have any kind of scalp issues, sensitivity, allergies, or just, I don't know, you feel like your scalp has been irritated. Try this. You might just find it like solves the problem. One more hair care, I almost forgot about this because we bought this like the day we moved in. We needed like a shampoo, some toothbrushes, things like that, so we walked to the nearest gas station and this is what they had. It's the Johnson's baby shampoo. I would not go out of my way to get this again. I didn't feel like it was just quite enough for my oily scalp. Definitely a very gentle formula. I think I ended up using it mostly as a body wash just to use it up because I think I ordered online the Vanity Cream shampoo. So once that got here, I just started using this on the body to get it used up. Yeah, wouldn't repurchase that unless it was like the only thing available like it was this last time. So that is it for hair care. Now moving into body care, we used up 3 body washes. First up was the Trader Joe's Tea Tree Tingle Body Wash. My aunt actually brought this to us when we first got here. She brought us a bunch of just like the essentials when we first moved in, which was so sweet of her. And I really enjoyed this body wash. It does have, it says peppermint, tea tree, and eucalyptus, and it definitely smells like all of those things, especially the peppermint and eucalyptus, which I love those scents. It was very just like energizing to me, and it does have a tingle to it, like it says. Just a little bit of like that minty, cool tingle, which I don't know, I kind of enjoy that. So I really liked this. It's kind of like a liquidy formula, so you do have to be careful not to like spill out too much at a time. Yeah, I would get this again if we're at Trader Joe's. We really don't go to Trader Joe's often, but next time we're there, if I see it, I would pick it up. So to replace that, we bought the Soft Soap Exfoliating Blackberry Sugar Body Wash. I don't think I had ever tried a soft soap body wash before. I didn't even know they made body wash, but I was just trying to find like the cheapest body wash available that did not have methyl isothiazolinone, which is that ingredient that I'm allergic to. It's in a lot of like soaps, body washes, shampoos, things like that. But this was very inexpensive, which I've just been kind of trying to go for the least expensive option whenever we're replacing any kind of beauty item, because obviously moving is expensive, so we're just trying to be on a budget these days. And it's just I think it's just a good habit to be frugal regardless. But yeah, this smelled really good. Blackberry sugar, that's exactly what it smells like. Just like sweet blackberry. Very nice scent for the summer, which is the main time of year that we use this. It does have these little exfoliating beads inside, but they're so few and far between that I don't really feel like I'm getting much of an exfoliation out of it. So I feel like I could do without that. But I did enjoy that for a good, affordable body wash. I would definitely consider repurchasing it. And then this body wash we actually got from a neighbor in our local Buy Nothing group. And that's a pro tip if you are like on a no buy or low buy, just trying to save money. Keep an eye out in your Buy Nothing groups for things like this, because a lot of people will give away just like tons of body care, skincare, makeup. This is actually a Korean skincare product. Looks like they got it at TJ Maxx. This is from, it says on the back, Amore Pacific. I think I have heard of that brand before. It's the Happy Bath Rice Milk Ceramide body wash in the Cotton Cloud scent. I really liked the scent of this. It was very floral, which usually, I don't know, I'm a little bit picky about florals, but this was nice. It is very floral and clean, kind of like a maybe jasmine, rose, definitely smell rose in there, but I enjoyed this. The scent was quite strong, so you have to like that kind of floral scent. I would be curious to know like if they have other scents of this body wash. Also, I did find the scent of this would linger on the skin, so it is a much stronger like scent experience, I would say, than like the soft soap, which I didn't feel like this lingered on the skin. This definitely did. I also loved just the texture of this. It had such a nice kind of like runny rice milk, creamy texture to it, and I loved it. I loved every single time I used this. It made me want to find where to buy this again. I guess I can look at TJ Maxx, but I wonder if like YesStyle sells this too. You'll probably see down below where if I'm able to find it online, but I would definitely purchase this myself because it was great. Also in the body care category, we have a body sunscreen. This is the Hawaiian Tropic Sheer Touch Sunscreen Lotion with SPF 70. We've also had the SPF 50 before, used that up earlier this summer. I really like these Hawaiian Tropic sunscreens. I would say the SPF 70 was definitely thicker and a little bit harder to rub in than the SPF 50, but also you're getting even more sun protection, so I guess that's to be expected. It is a chemical sunscreen, so no mineral. I hate mineral sunscreens on the body usually. Like, I just can't stand like the heavy, thick film that they leave, so I really prefer chemical body sunscreens. It does have a really nice like tropical coconut beachy scent. Definitely smells like sunscreen, but in a way that I really don't mind. And yeah, we've had great luck with these all summer. We would wear these to the pool when we're just outside a lot, and we would never get any sunburn. So obviously reapplying consistently, especially if we're getting in the water, things like that. Also, the Sheer Touch sunscreens from Hawaiian Tropic, it actually says on the bottle, leaves skin radiant, and it does contain mica. So it leaves a little bit of a shimmer on the body. To replace this, we ended up getting the Hawaiian Tropic, I think it's called Sport something. It's in a blue bottle. It looks just like this, but it's blue. And that one has the same scent and everything, but it doesn't have that shimmer to it. So that would be more of just kind of like an everyday one if you don't want the shimmer. But I have to say, I really enjoyed the like shimmer and the glow that this would give, especially on my legs. It looked so good when I had a fake tan on. I would definitely repurchase this. I used up a hand cream. This is from, I think this was in a YesStyle advent calendar that I got in PR like 2 years ago maybe, but this is from the brand Passion and Beyond, and it's the Total Recovery Intense Hand Cream. I was really impressed by this because it was very lightweight. It didn't feel really like thick and buttery and greasy, but at the same time it left my hands feeling so soft and hydrated. I could just feel like the humectant properties of this really working their magic. This would be great if you are looking for a hand cream that's not too like thick and filmy, that's not gonna like leave marks everywhere that you touch. As we're getting into the winter, I haven't repurchased a hand cream yet, but I need to because my hands have been so dry. I've just been using the body lotion that I have on hand right now, but I feel like it's just not quite cutting it on the hands. I just have naturally really dry hands, so I'm gonna need something probably even thicker than this as we get into the winter. Let me know if you have any good hand cream recommendations. Ideally something drugstore, because my hands could use some help. Also in the body care realm, we actually, mostly Nathan, I have to give him credit, used up the 7 Virtues Blackberry Lily. This is the rollerball one. I don't think they sell this size anymore. I could be wrong, but this is the one that had like an amethyst rollerball. He actually dug the amethyst out because he's really into like rocks and gems and stuff. So he was like, yeah, I'm keeping that. We're not throwing that away. This is such a nice scent. I think I got a little bit tired of it after a while. Really nice scent. It's not as like sweet as a lot of fruity floral scents are. It has a little bit of like a spiciness to it, but I'm pretty sure they do still sell this scent. I love the 7 Virtues. I'd have to say they're my favorite perfume brand. I love Vanilla Woods, Vanilla Amber. They're also just a really great company, really like responsible with their sourcing of ingredients and things like that. So I love supporting them. Probably won't repurchase this scent, but I do think it is a lovely scent. I tend to get tired of scents after a while, and I like to switch it up. But there are some scents that I never get tired of. Vanilla Woods from Seven Virtues. And then also Penrose Pillow Talk Poet is my forever favorite. That's like my signature scent. So anyway, I'm rambling now about perfumes, but love to see a fragrance empty. Thank you, Nathan, for using it up. Okay, so that's it for body care. I have a lot of skincare that we used up, so let's get into that. Some of these we use both on the face and the body, so I'll talk about those first. The Equate Beauty Gentle Skin Cleanser, we used up 2 more bottles of these. If you saw my last empties video, we used up a ridiculous number of these cleansers, but this is the Equate dupe of the Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser. Like I said in the last empties video, I wish that they would sell like a gallon size of this because we just go through it so quickly. We keep it in the shower and we both use it to wash our faces, but also to wash any sensitive part of the body. So we just go through it pretty quickly. Love this because it is really gentle, non-foaming, so if you have sensitive skin, it's perfect for that. But it also still does really effectively cleanse your face. So I just love it. Also, interestingly, it says on the back, you can use it with or without water. I've never tried it without water, but I guess if you were like camping or something or just didn't have access to water, you could still wash your face with this, which is very cool. If you have sensitive skin, I would imagine if you are like adjusting to tretinoin or any sort of retinoid, or if you just have really dry sensitive skin, highly recommend this. You do not need to spend a lot of money on a cleanser like this. But I was getting kind of annoyed with how much like plastic waste was coming from these because I would say we use up about 1 a month. And so what we're trying now instead are the Dove Beauty Bars. They make a sensitive skin one that doesn't have any fragrance to it, and it's just like a bar soap, but it's actually not technically soap. It's a what's it called? A Syndet, which stands for synthetic detergent. So it's supposed to be much gentler than like a true bar of soap. You can even use it to wash your face, and I tried that today and it worked well. So I think that might be what we start using instead of these. I'm curious to see how long 1 bar of Dove will last us. But if it lasts us at least a month, then that's already a way better deal than a bottle of this. I think a bottle of this is like $6 or $7, and the Dove Beauty Bars, you can get a 2-pack for under $5 at Aldi. So that's already more cost effective, it's less waste, so yeah, I'll keep you posted on that, but so far so good with the Dove. Another cleanser, I actually mostly use this on the body, but I've recently started using it on the face as well. It's the Panoxyl Acne Foaming Wash for face and body, they say, and this is the 10% benzoyl peroxide. They also make, I think, a 4% one, but this is like the extra strength. I always go for the extra strength because I can use all the strength I can get. This is just such a helpful product. I wish I had tried it sooner because it really keeps my body acne away. I use it every single day on my upper back, my chest, my underarms, my booty, because I get acne there sometimes too, and this just keeps it clear. And recently I started using it on my face because ever since we moved, my skin has been more oily, but also just more prone to breakouts, which is so annoying. Especially because at least in the summer I was wearing hats a lot, like baseball caps a lot. Anytime I go outside, I pretty much always throw on a baseball cap because my scalp gets sunburned really easily. I feel like I'm making myself sound so high maintenance. I guess I am. I mean, I'll own it. I am high maintenance, okay? But I have an extensive self-care routine, okay? But I'm always wearing baseball caps, and I wash them regularly because they get, gross with sunscreen, makeup, sweat, whatever. I wash them in like a mesh laundry bag, just in the laundry. But I feel like especially with the hats, I was getting a lot of breakouts like on my forehead and on my temples. I'm very prone to breakouts on my temples. It's so annoying. So now I've worked this into my face skincare routine as well, and I'll just take a little bit of this and I'll spend like 30 seconds just kind of rubbing it into each area that I use it to really get that benzoyl peroxide working, and I'll just kind of like massage it really just kind of like on my forehead, temples, and my cheeks, anywhere that I'm prone to breakouts. I don't so much use it in the center of my face, but anywhere that I'm more breakout prone, I'll use this. And ever since I started using it, I really have not gotten any bad breakouts. So I think it's going to be a permanent part of my skincare routine now. Now, as I've been saying, I've been trying to find ways to reduce waste, and I wanted to do an experiment because they do sell this in a bar as well, like a soap bar. And so I wanted to do an experiment and see how long it took me to go through the tube versus the bar. So the tube, or you know, this, whatever this is, yeah, squeeze tube, took me 2 months to use up approximately. So I've been using the bar of soap for a month now. It's still going strong, there's a lot left. So I'm curious to see how long it'll take me to use up the bar of the Panoxyl. I'm guessing it'll last me longer. So if it does and it ends up being a better value, I'm just gonna start purchasing the bar instead, because again, it's just way less plastic waste of something that I am constantly using up and repurchasing. So that already repurchased, but in bar form. Another cleanser, like I said, there's 2 people using these, so we go through them pretty quickly. This is actually the second one of these that we've used up, and this is such a nice cleanser if you want to just like splurge a little bit, get something really nice. It's the Regelica Water Lily pH Balanced Gentle Cleanser. This is a Korean skincare brand, and I found out about them because they sent me some PR a couple months ago. Really fell in love with their products. They are on the pricier side though, so you know, it's more of a splurge item. They did give me an affiliate code if you guys want to purchase them. You can get, I think it's like 20% off with my code, so I'll leave that on the screen and down below. But this cleanser is just such a joy to use. It's like this very completely transparent clear gel, and it just squeezes out in the most perfect little round ball. I don't know why that's like so fun to me, but very gentle. It does have a little bit of a water lily fragrance to it that I really find pleasant, but if you have like super sensitive skin, may not be the best. But I love this. If I wanted to splurge on a nice cleanser, I would definitely get this again. Nathan loves it as well. He's always asking like, can we get more of that? Oh, and actually speaking of, we did also use up one of the moisturizers from Regelica. This is their anti-aging cream, and we actually have another tube of this going right now. This is such a nice moisturizer. It has bakuchiol, niacinamide. It is definitely a heavier cream, which even with my oily skin, I use this at night, and I like a really thick, heavy moisturizer regardless of how oily my skin is. I love to just pack on the hydration at night because I love waking up with just like plump, glowy, borderline greasy skin. But I would also recommend it if you have dry skin. I think this would be good for any skin type, honestly. It does have an herbal scent. Yeah, it smells like a health food store, but I like it. And with both of these things, a very small amount goes a long way. Like I will use just like a pea-sized amount of each of these at a time. So I feel like you get a pretty good bang for your buck. Another moisturizer I used up, this is also a very thick, heavy, expensive moisturizer that I was grateful to receive in PR. It's the Philosophy Ultimate Miracle Worker Face and Neck Cream. So this has, they call it a patented retinol complex. I'm not sure which form of retinol it has, but I have been using, I feel like I've said this in a few videos now, sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I've been using tretinoin for 3 years straight. My prescription expired. I have a doctor's appointment coming up, so I'll be able to get my prescription refilled finally, but in the meantime, since I used up my last tube of tretinoin, I've just been going through whatever retinoid products that I had in my stash. Most of the time I would use them just on my neck, chest, backs of my hands, and use tretinoin on my face, but lately I've just been using regular old retinol on my face. This was really nice. Going from like prescription strength tretinoin to this was like nothing. Like my skin was like totally fine, no irritation. Not sure how it would be if you're just introducing a retinol for the first time, but I used this as my night cream for a few months there. Another product where a little goes a long way, so it is very pricey. Full price, I think it's like $89 or something insane. You do get 2 fluid ounces, which is more than your standard, a little bit more than your standard moisturizer. This had a very nice, rich, thick texture. It does have a scent to it as well. Kind of an interesting scent. Clean, fresh, nice. Do you like my descriptors? Was very grateful to get this in PR. I would not spend my own money on this because, like I said, I mean, really, at the end of the day, I prefer to use prescription tretinoin. If it came into my life again, I would happily use it. If I ever saw it on like a steep discount or at like TJ Maxx or something, I would pick it up to use like on my neck and hands and stuff because I do like to try to remember to use a retinol in those areas as well. Another retinol, I really liked this for a more affordable retinol. This is the Koki retinol 2% plus niacinamide. Loved this. This is a much more thin, it's a serum rather than a cream like the previous one. Yeah, it had like a kind of a milky serum-like consistency. I think if you have oily skin, you don't want something quite as heavy as the Philosophy one. this is much lighter weight, and I really felt like my skin loved this. Like, my skin felt great after using this. Like, I would wake up in the morning and it just looked smoother, more even. I think the niacinamide was also a big part of that. I really do feel like niacinamide makes a huge difference. All right, we have the Cocokind Ceramide Barrier Serum here. I want to love Cocokind so badly because I love what the brand stands for. I love how transparent they are with their ingredients, with their packaging. I think they're a really commendable brand. But with so many of their products, I have found that the smell starts to turn well before the period after opening. So this had a 12-month period after opening symbol on it, and we have not had this open for a year, but it started smelling gross. Like, it just does not smell like it did when we opened it. It's almost empty. There's just like a tiny bit in the bottom, so that's why I decided to go ahead and include it in this empties video. It's just kind of meant to add an extra layer of hydration, help to soothe the skin barrier, and I do feel like it does a good job of that, but it just doesn't wow me enough to want to repurchase it, especially knowing that it goes bad sooner than it's supposed to. I had the same problem with their chlorophyll discoloration serum, also their retinol body lotion, which I loved that so much. I think I even included it in my best of 2024 video, but a few months later it started to smell weird, and I hadn't even had it open for a full year at that point, so it's just, I don't know, like, I guess it's because I don't think they market themselves as a clean brand, but they need to get their preservatives in order because they have some really great products, but they just do not last very long, at least in my experience. Okay, Nathan used most of this, but I also use it here and there. It's the Thayer's Hydrating Milky Toner, and it has snow mushroom, hyaluronic acid. Really big bottle of this, lasts a long time. I loved the Ilia Face Base Milk, which is also a milky toner. Love that product. It's way too expensive. So I wanted to try a drugstore alternative. I'm sad to say I didn't like this as much as the Ilia. It just didn't have that magic to it that one did, but it was nice. It was fine. I don't know, it felt like maybe a little bit more filmy on my skin than the Ilia, which the Ilia I felt like my skin would just drink it up and it would just plump up my skin. It looked so good. So I don't know, I would maybe repurchase this, but I also would like to try some others. If you have any good Milky Toner recommendations, actually I would like to try a K-Beauty Milky Toner because I have a feeling those will just blow everything else out of the water. We also used up the Prequel Skin Utility Ointment, which is a multi-purpose skin protectant. It has petrolatum, which is the main ingredient in here, but it also has a few other ingredients to kind of support the skin barrier. It says it has bisabolol? I've seen that word written down, but I've never heard it out loud. That being said, I feel like this is very similar to just Vaseline. Like, if you need an ointment skin protectant, you can use this on your lips, on your face, anywhere that you want, anywhere that you would use Vaseline to just kind of like protect the skin barrier. If you're having very dry, sensitive skin, it can be really helpful to use this. I did try slugging with this, which is basically where you just put this all over your face as the last step of your skincare. I felt like that would always end up breaking me out. I think it's just a little bit too heavy for my skin, but for just like targeted areas, if I'm having like a lot of irritation, it's just great to have something like this on hand. That being said, as I said before, I've been on kind of a frugal journey, if you will, and I would probably just purchase Vaseline to replace this because it's basically the same thing, just without the extra added ingredients. So that's that, but it is really nice. I just don't think it's really anything leaps and bounds better than straight up petroleum jelly. Used up the e.l.f. Blemish Breakthrough Stick It to Zits. This was a pack of 36 pimple patches. I like that they were all the same size. I feel like I don't need a bunch of different sizes of pimple patches. I usually end up just needing like the medium size. Like that one works for all my pimples. I don't need the really tiny ones. I don't need the really big ones. Just the one size is fine with me. So that I liked about this is that it was just all one size. But other than that, they're kind of just like any other pimple patch. They're clear. They're pretty invisible. I mean, you would probably be able to see them, like, I don't know. I pretty much only wear them like to bed or if I'm at home. I don't really wear them out and about. I found for most pimple patches, they pretty much only work at like removing the gunk from pimples that have already come to the surface, like especially ones that have already popped. Those are the best ones to put a pimple patch on to really just like get all the gunk out. But if you have a pimple that's still under the surface, at least not yet, I haven't found a pimple patch that really will like extract gunk out of those like more cystic pimples. So If you have, let me know, because I would be willing to spend a little bit more on something that actually will do that. But other than that, I feel like all pimple patches are pretty much the same, so I usually just go for whatever is like pretty affordable. I've also really enjoyed the peach slices ones. Right now I have this huge pack that I got from, once again, a Buy Nothing neighbor, so I'm using those. They're from some brand I haven't heard of before, but they're working just fine. I think those will last me for a very long time. But yeah, pimple patches are one of those things I don't feel like is an absolute necessity, but when I don't have them on hand, I do find myself missing them. Like a couple weeks ago, I had this huge painful zit on my shoulder. It was so bad. I don't know how. I think it was like where maybe my bra strap was rubbing and it got like super irritated. And I didn't have any pimple patches on hand and I really missed having them. So it's one of those things like, it's not a necessity, but it is a really nice thing to have. We have a few sunscreens used up. This Isn't Hyaluronic Acid Airy Sun Stick. This has SPF 50+. Earlier this year in the summer, I did a big SPF stick showdown. So if you're interested in hearing my reviews on a bunch of different sunscreen sticks, I'll leave that link down below. This was kind of in the middle in my rankings. I didn't love it. It was not one that I would repurchase. It does have a very chemical sunscreen smell, and a lot of the ones I tried didn't have that, so that was kind of the big kicker for me. I feel like all sunscreen sticks feel a little bit filmy, you know? They're just due to the nature of what a sunscreen stick is. It's kind of like a giant balm that has sunscreen in it, so they're all gonna feel a little bit filmy on the skin. This one definitely, I didn't love how it felt. I ended up mostly using this up on my backs of my hands and arms because I saw that it expired. It's rubbed off now, but I think it was end of August this expired, so I was trying to use it up in like during that month, which was a good time of year to use up a sunscreen because I'm just outside a lot, don't want to get sunburned, so this was my just like reapplying sunscreen. Didn't love using it, but it was fine and I'm glad to have used it up. I didn't love this on my face though. It felt very balmy on the face. Not super greasy, but just like really thick. We also used up 2 face sunscreens. Loved both of these. We have the Benton Cica Gel Sunscreen Serum. This also has SPF 50. Really nice, lightweight gel sunscreen. Honestly, I've tried a lot of Korean sunscreens. A lot of them are very similar because they all use the same like new generation chemical sunscreen filters. This one, as well as the next one I'll talk about, there's no chemical sunscreen smell. This one I think was fragrance free and it really didn't smell like anything. It doesn't feel like you're putting a sunscreen on, it just feels like a lightweight gel moisturizer, and I would use this kind of as my morning moisturizer and sunscreen all in one. Loved it. Nathan enjoyed this as well. He has facial hair and there was no problem blending it in, so highly recommend this one. And then I also loved this one. This is the Heimish Moringa Ceramide Watery Sunscreen. Also has SPF 50+. This one does have a scent to it. I loved the scent of this. In fact, I would love a perfume that smells like this. That is how good the scent is. Kind of like an amber sort of scent. Really nice. But it is a scent that I would kind of like notice throughout the day. Like it does kind of linger. So if that would bother you, maybe steer clear of this one. But this was also so nice. Maybe a little bit thicker, just a tiny bit thicker than the Benton Cica Gel Sunscreen. Also very lightweight, very easy to wear, easy to reapply. Just such a delight. I would recommend both of these. I really don't even have a favorite between the two. I just love them both. And finally, for the makeup category, I actually only have one makeup adjacent empty, and it is this sponge. This is the AOA Studio Paw Paw sponge. They make them in a few different shapes. I bought last year like a 6-pack of them, I think, and it's the one with the flat end, but they also make a teardrop shaped one. I love these sponges. I really don't think you can beat them, especially for the price. I've tried more expensive ones. Right now I'm using one from Wonder Skin, just because they sent it and it's perfectly nice, but it really is no better than the AOA. I think if you buy one of these, it's like $1.55, or you can get a big pack of them. Yeah, they're just really unbeatable in my opinion. I try to replace my sponges like every 3 months because I have, like I said, acne-prone skin, and there's really no way to sanitize a sponge like this. You can clean it. I use Dr. Bronner's bar soap to clean my sponges, and it works well, but this was just getting to a point where like there were stains in it that I could not get out with my Dr. Bronner soap, and it was starting to tear, so I took that as a sign to go ahead and replace it. But I really don't think you need to be spending more than a couple dollars on a sponge because is a sponge. So love that, definitely would repurchase. And those are all my empties from the last few months. I'll list and link everything down below. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I also have a very long playlist of empties videos. If you're in an empties kind of mood and you just want to binge watch some more empties videos, I'll link my empties playlist down below as well. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll talk to you very soon in my next video. Bye!